What's up, YouTube? It's not as early in the morning as I usually make my videos, but I wanted to do a video um, mostly about guns. That's my big thing. I'm a gun nut. I've already told you that. Um, Strictly speaking, I wanted to talk about defensive guns and all the big craze about, you want maximum capacity, blah, 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 blah. Most people don't have to have a maximum capacity. 2, 3 shots is normally fired. I'm on YouTube a lot and watching the videos, bank robberies, store robberies, where the clerks fire back and fight off their assailants. And what I'm seeing is, 2, 3 shots maximum. Unless you're like me, you like a full magazine. Who knows if you got 30 people attacking you, which is unlikely. I hate to break your bubble, but you're not that important. If you are attacked, 1, 2 quick shots in the midsection or in the leg. Anything below the knee is not attempted murder, well, according to most state laws. So if you're worried about the whole stand your ground thing, I won't comment on the whole Trayvon Martin case because it's already blown out of proportion. And Uncle Ted said it best when he said it wasn't about racism. It was about a guy who was getting his ass kicked, and he came out on top with the use of a firearm. So I'm going to leave that alone. What I do want to comment on, though, is home defense. That's my biggest thing, is home defense. Most break-ins, I have friends who sadly were victims of home invasions. One in particular was a good buddy of mine when I was working in a hospital, over in one of the Army hospitals in East Georgia. I won't say which one or where. He was sleeping. He works night shift, or worked night shift with me. His girlfriend was downstairs. The break-in itself was, I believe it was 3, maybe 4 young males. I won't comment on their racial or ethnic background. I will say that they were very young, the youngest being 11 years old. Busted in. They had rope, knives, a stolen pistol from a previous break-in, and they pushed in, threw on the ground. Luckily, they were people who were prepared like me. They'd gone over protocol when such things happen. She shouted out the code word, which is completely innocuous. It sounds like she might have been shouting for a dog. I won't say their word because then it kind of ruins the element of surprise. Anyway, he heard it. He knew what it meant. He hopped up. He grabbed his AK. He's a gunsmith, and he'd just finished putting his AK back together, and was coming down the stairs and racked the slide, and they ran off. Just that sound, that holy shit sound, you know what it is. Everybody knows what it is. That clack, clack. It's awesome. It strikes fear in my heart when I'm not the one doing it, strictly because of combat situations that I've been in. I don't have an AK here. I do have a shotgun, and for those of you who don't know, I will demonstrate for you the sound. I'm sure you've seen it on movies. It is unloaded. There's nothing in the magazine tube. So anyway, the sound that I'm talking about is if you're busting in somebody's house and you hear that, you know that they're ready. They're ready for you. It doesn't matter if they have a round in the chamber. They may not. But just that audible threat of somebody's coming and they've got tools. Tools to deal with me and whoever I decided to drag into this foolish act of stupidity. I've never broken in anybody's house, but I know that if I walked in with intent to harm and I heard somebody with something bigger than mine, I'm going to step out. So, Joe Biden said, well, you need a double-barrel shotgun. You point it in the air and fire it, and it'll scare them away. It may not be true, because if all you have is a double-barrel shotgun, you fire both rounds in the air. It may scare somebody, but that guy knows that now you have to reload, and that takes a little bit with a double barrel unless you're lightning fast, which is uncommon without training. So you don't need an AK. Well, I say you don't need an AK. That's dumbass. Um, you need an AK. You need an AR. You need a G3. You need all the fun toys just for your own, your own collection, your own fun. But as far as scaring off some dumbass kid who wants to come in and steal your shit to buy meth or crack or Nintendo games, whatever, Xbox, excuse me. I'm showing my age. uh, yeah, that kid, he knows what that sound is. He knows what's coming for him. It's kind of like, I'm not Christian or religious or anything like that, but I guess it's kind of, uh, you know, you hear the angels coming and they're bringing their fiery swords. That's a big fiery sword. I keep rock salt in mine for the most part because it is my home defense shotgun. Um, and I don't want to kill anybody. I've killed people in combat before, and it's not a good feeling. I still deal with that. But if you get hit with rock salt, it hurts. I've been hit with it. Stealing pumpkins off some farmer's pumpkin patch back when I was 12, 13-year-old little punk myself, but I never got anything too serious. We just wanted some pumpkins to put some firecrackers in, honestly. And to the guy, I'm sorry. I was a stupid kid. Thank you for teaching me a lesson via rock salt in my ass. It hurts like hell. So that's one thing I'll point out. Rock salt rounds are good. And if you don't have the money to go spend $20 at exotic 12 gauge ammo or whatever else, you go get you some birdshot. Pair of needle nose pliers right through the hole in the crimp. I'll do a video on all this later. Like I said, I'm just getting started. But anyway, pair of needle nose pliers through the crimp. You sit there and you work the crimp out. You dump out your lead shot. Pack it with rock salt. You can take the needle nose pliers and pinch the little edges on the crimp and put it back down. And perfectly good rock salt round, and it has just enough power to put the rock salt through jeans and into your skin. And it hurts like hell. Anyway, I kind of got off course. What I'm trying to say is, for a defensive gun, home defense, shotgun round, rock salt, or if you're the kind of person who believes in stopping them dead cold, birdshot is what I would recommend for home defense, because if it does hit, say if you miss, because unfortunately, shotguns don't spread out in this gigantic pattern, 1 inch per yard fired. That's bullshit. It's a pretty tight pattern. Defensive rounds, a birdshot might get a pattern like this at 4 yards, maybe. It's going to put a hurting on them. It'll stop them damn near dead cold, more than likely dead if you hit them center mass. I've done a couple of firing tests on pigs and deer carcasses and all that good stuff. Roadkill. I don't butcher animals just for my own tests. If I find a piece of roadkill that's fresh, if I see it happen, I might go pick it up and I'll use it for that. Anyway, a birdshot round will break bones. It'll break ribs. It'll break an arm. It'll do some severe damage. So don't discount the birdshot. Just the little target loads. They're $22 a box of 100 for I believe it's Winchester Gray sport loads. It's birdshots, at tiny little pellets, smaller than a grain of salt, almost, depending on salt you use. I use sea salt, so definitely smaller. What I'm trying to say is that those little birdshot rounds, they'll do more than enough damage without the threat of blowing through a wall and hitting your kids. Say if you're coming down a hallway and you're shooting at a guy and he's right outside your kid's room, if that birdshot happens to hit the drywall, it'll stop. It's not going to blow through unless you hit it full on once or twice. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is, don't overdo it. 45 ACP in a defensive situation, out on the streets with hollow points or even with ball rounds, is good. 9mm hollow points or ball is good in a street environment. Home defense, you don't need it. Shotgun with a laser, shotgun with a flashlight. I'm actually going to put a flashlight on that thing eventually. I've got a flashlight on my AR, and I just use that for, just for looks, schnitz and giggles, mall ninja stuff. So, yeah, anyway, shotgun, 20 gauge is plenty for home defense. Rock salt, or if you want to be lethal, birdshot. The reason I don't say buckshot in a home defense situation is because buckshot is a 9mm for the double-aught bucks. It's 9mm pellets that fly out at high enough rates to blow through the wall, hit something on the other side, and kill them, or severely maim and injure. So just think about that kind of thing when you're looking at defensive rounds and applications. If you're applying inside your house, you want your stopping power, but you don't want it to blow through a wall. An AR-15. AR-15s, those are weapons that have the capacity to do a lot of damage. Like I said, I'm a gun nut. I'm highly against anti-gun nuts, but what I am for 100% is safety. Be safe. Consider your applications. Consider the possibility of missing. Dark situation, high stress environment, tight, close, confined quarters. Most houses, you're not going to have more than maybe 5-10 feet, much less meters, between you and the dumb shit that busted through your door. You don't want to wage war in your house when your kids are sleeping, maybe in the room right behind the guy that you're shooting at. Use common sense. I know it's not that common, but if you sit and think about it, plan it out, map it out, draw a freaking diagram if you got to. I don't care. Do what you got to do. Before I get off here, I don't want to overdo it and bore you guys. It's one big problem I have with a lot of gun channels that I get on, is some of the stuff is kind of boring when they sit there and go on and on and on and on. I wanted to kind of plug myself here. Phoenix Woodland. You can see the phoenix there. Phoenix is one of my favorite animals because out of the ashes comes new life, right? I'm all about new beginnings, new starts, being able to take a horrible situation and thrive. Phoenix Woodland Group, we're just getting started up. Carrollton, Georgia. If anybody wants to, or if anybody in the Carrollton area happens to catch this video, leave me a comment. Put your name, or maybe not your name, but leave your comment. Once I find out who you are, or if I see if I can send you a comment, I'll PM you back. And if there's something that I know that I can teach you, I'd be glad to do it. All about teaching. Safety, gun safety, how to shoot. Like I said, I'm a decent shot myself. I've been shooting a lot. Outdoor survival, prepping tactics as far as food supply, water filtration, planning, budgeting, all that kind of thing. Let me know. I appreciate it, you guys. Hopefully this video gets a few more views than my last two. And you guys give me a like, subscribe, whatever you got to do. I'm not monetized with YouTube, so this doesn't really help me any, except for my own ego. And I guess I'll catch you guys later. So before the 15-minute mark, I appreciate it, and peace.